Hello. Hi. Hey. What's up? How's it going? Raven. What's up? Apparently you have been playing Corpse Factory as well. I hope that you're not so far that like we're gonna be spoiling stuff for you, because we are, boy oh boy, things have turned real crazy here at the old Corpse Factory. Things have gone a little sideways in a few ways that we weren't expecting, but that's kind of just the MO for this game, it feels like. It's a party at this corpse place. Wait, wrong game. Now, this is not the corpse party. This is not the corpse party. That is again, the poor dev dealt with that for an entire year, and they're still dealing with it, unfortunately. How's it going, Cappy? Look at this. These two people in my chat right now, they do stream. So everybody, follow Raven the GM. Go do that. Go do that. Oh, hey, you're playing Facets. Nice. And, of course, you gotta also give a nice big shout out to our good pal, the one we go to for all the best legal advice with regards to everything going on in Corpse Factory. Our good pal, a Black Cap. How's it going, Cappy? I hope the rest of the day has treated you well. Had a good time at your stream today. It was a real good P5 stream, a lot of good conversation. Yeah, it just picks a random clip. I never know what it's gonna pull, so it just pulls a random clip from your channel. So I can never be 100% sure what it's gonna do. So something when we were playing last night, I don't know if this struck anybody else when this went down. I think one other person caught it, but something jumped out at me. Something jumped out at me real strong when we went to visit when we went to visit Tomoe, and Shinya was there hanging out as Kojiro, because we were gonna warn Tomoe, hey, you may not want to quit yet. I think the bitch done gone crazy. Something our boy Shinya said gave me pause, made me stop and think, wait a minute, what's going on here? Anybody remember this line? What could he possibly be talking about? This struck me as a little funny, because I don't know what else our boy Kojiro would smell like. It's certainly not candy canes and apple butter, that's for sure. Our boy Kojiro only smells like one thing, and that is a morgue. That is corpses. And this line gave me pause. I was like, wait a minute. Why are you talking about how corpses smell, my dude? Hey, nerd Manny Lemons over here, drop it. Let me take the screenshot off the screen for a moment so that this actually works. Hello, nerd friends. How's it going? We were just in here talking about a theory that I had. We were talking about a theory that I had in a line that really stuck in my craw from last night's stream, spoken by our boy Shinya. This one right here stuck with me. I was like, wait a minute. You're about, like I was saying, there's only one thing our boy Kojiro is gonna smell like, and it ain't candy canes and apple butter. So, he's talking about corpses. You've been through some shit. I think we're about to go through some shit. How's it going, Alfino? So, something else I would like to point out. You know what? I won't point that out. I'll hold on to that one. I'll keep that one in the back pocket. Maybe people don't know that yet. Maybe people don't want that. I'll hold on to that. It's a Japanese thing that I'm going to hold on to for now. But, exactly. But yeah, with regards to that line being spoken, why do you know what corpses smell like, my friend? That's weird. That gives me reason to pause. So, Are we ready to jump back in? Are we excited, everybody? Let's go. Well, we are on a mission. That's all we know, and oh boy. You can't just hold on to Japan, Polly. People have to live there. Listen, I'm gonna hold on to Japan with an iron grip. Some might even say a Kung Fu ninja grip. Are we talking about rotting corpses or formaldehyde corpses? Dad, well, I mean, I have to, like, he has to smell like both. Like, our boy Kojiro is gonna smell like both. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that Shinya kind of knows about that. It just doesn't seem like the normal thing that a person would be like, hey, you know, you smell like corpses. That just seems like a weird thing to point out. To me, anyway. But we will see. We're on a mission to kill. And we may have to kill Aoi. And I'm not really stoked about that. I gotta be honest with you. More corpses would be rotting. Formaldehyde would be in a funeral home. Don't ask me why I know this. We'll keep that under our hat. As to not incriminate the innocent. All right, here we go. Mission time. Aoi will understand. She's a good friend. You ain't wrong. It's the same stakeout as last time. Junpei Matsumoto, in his infinite wisdom, posted on Noise about visiting the maid cafe today. Don't know why he doesn't set his profile to private, especially after I followed him home last time. But I won't be following him home again today. I'll confront him inside the maid cafe, a place where Aoi is unlikely to be since she quit the job a while ago. When we ran into him, she was still wearing the maid costume, though. Koji is seemingly doubling down on Noriko. I'm really worried about Tomoe. Yeah, Tomoe, I think, is definitely in danger as well. I'll confront him inside the maid cafe, a place I know Aoi is unlikely to be, although did she really quit? If memory serves, she was dressed as a maid last time I encountered her. It's not that I have qualms about killing her. In fact, I'm not even bothered that Noriko is okay ordering her death. I'm just thinking about the future. When Noriko and I marry, we'll want friends and family to attend the wedding. Noriko will need bridesmaids, a maid of honor. Aoi would be perfect for one of those roles. By sparing her life now, I can kick off my new life with Noriko on a high note. Always thinking the positive, seeing the silver lining. Like, this guy got plans already. Yeah, maybe he just likes her to wear it. That's okay. As somebody who has worn a maid costume in my life, or no, I've worn like 2. I'm okay with it. And the people that I wore them for were okay with it. I'm aware other people will be present at the cafe. I have no intention of hurting them. I'll force as many as possible to evacuate, or I'll corner Junpei somewhere private. The dog himself arrives as I'm playing through the possible scenarios in my head. He waltzes through the front door, completely oblivious to my presence across the street. I'll give him some time, let him get comfortable, lower his guard. The weight of the blade inside my pocket is unfamiliar. Not like it's so heavy that it would restrict my movement, it just feels strange. Figured it was better not to tackle this unarmed. It's an emergency measure. After 20 minutes, I approach the maid cafe's entrance. Tool music! Something borrowed, something new, something murdered, something blue. Not a fan of the atmosphere. Too flashy for me. Prefer somewhere simple, laid back. Junpei has a table near the far wall, alone. Not that I expected any different. A blonde maid trots over to refill his drink. He nods politely, but doesn't say a word. He hasn't seen me come in yet. Someone asks if I want a table. I don't respond. Someone else chimes in. Something about paying the cover charge. I don't know. My attention is on the dog. No one attempts to hold me back as I march toward my prey. He finally sees me, but I'm 5 steps away and it's too late.
What the?
Oh boy. He's just gonna... Well, okay.
Long time. You're crazy, man. Get away from me.
Looking at him up close, he doesn't seem too worse for wear considering our last encounter. I start to wonder if I went too easy on him.
Here? Hell no. Get out of here. Thanks.
It's a mental breakdown. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. I pull up a chair and sit directly across from him. The blonde maid from before offers me a menu. Then she gasps and I hear something shatter on the floor.
It's
Yeah, she didn't quit. Strange. Aoi didn't quit her job after all. Did she lie to Noriko? Did Noriko lie to me? I'm 90% sure it's her anyway.
Stay back, baby. I got this.
This game needs a theme tune. Yep, it's her.
Quit.
Huh?
I thought you quit this job.
What? How would you know that?
I realized that I shouldn't spill any details on my relationship with Noriko.
Forget it.
Oh, you think you're hot stuff, right? Tailing me, beating me up, and now you're digging into my girl's business? The fuck is wrong with you, man?
Excuse me for a second.
I stand up slightly and lean over the table. Oh, Jesus! Just fucking goes, man! Junpei recoils as my fist pummels his nose.
Sorry, I had to do it.
I had to do it, you know. I sit back down and wipe my like my bloodied knuckles on a napkin. Junpei clutches his face and sobs. Aoi is visibly shaking, standing next to her dog, unsure how to react. By some miracle, I don't think anyone around witnessed the punch. For the best. Means we can get down to business without interruption.
Some questions for you.
You broke my nose!
About to be the least of your problems, friend.
Shush. Haven't asked my question yet.
Aoi somehow gathers the courage to flee. I don't watch her leave, but I get the sense she's gone to fetch
What do
help.
you know about the robbery of the hospital morgue?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, not the answer I wanted.
Junpei makes a mistake of possessing finger. Oh my god! Junpei makes the mistake of possessing fingers. I jam a steel fork into the back of his left thumb and pin it to the wooden table. Holy fuck!
You're going to give me the answers I want.
We are fucking psycho!
Am I clear?
You're a nutcase. You're psycho.
Why does this game keep saying the things that I say literally one text box before?
No. For my next question, how did you find out about my involvement with Corpse Girl?
It seems that Junpei is carefully weighing his response for the first time. Instead of outright defiance, he wisely chooses to grant me a satisfactory answer.
It wasn't hard, man. You're not the most stealthy dude around, you know?
Explain.
You and that blonde gal girl, Tomoe Watanabe, you're not cautious enough.
Yeah, Kojiro would go far in the Yakuza, that's for sure. So, he knows Tomoe's identity and her involvement. This hound is truly a liability.
It's not hard to tell you when you drive that hunk of shit van around town, dropping dead bodies off to corpse girls' targets.
He knows a lot. Way too much. How far does his knowledge
I
extend?
see. My next question, then. Do you know Corpse Girl's identity?
I think the real question is,
Well, he's got us there. I can't fault the man for that answer. That is as honest an answer I think that he could give. I would simply let myself get tortured. I consider his words. Do I know Corpse Girl's identity? Beginning to doubt that. Had he asked me a week or two ago, I would have thought of Noriko immediately. Now, the way that Noriko has been referring to Corpse Girl, I'm not so certain. But I won't let this wounded mud have the upper hand. I won't let him pry open gaps in my defense.
Wrong answer.
Oh, there you go. Is being hypocritical about creepily tailing people. I would use this to mentally justify him being murdered in cold blood as a reason. The only other piece of cutlery at hand is a metal spoon. I drive the slightly pointed rear end of it into the pointer finger of Junpei's already injured hand.
Corpse Girl's identity?
fine. Noriko Kurosawa.
Interesting.
I see.
A hesitant tap on my shoulder from behind me causes me to turn.
Leave him alone.
Aoi has somehow gathered a half a dozen other bystanders. They're all glaring at me, fists clenched, ready to try and forcibly remove me from the premises.
We're not done here. Come back later.
This guy has a will that is just indomitable. Where does he get it?
Let my Junpei go.
For a not really meek girl, Aoi has more courage than I expected. I stand up and stretch my neck. I'm not looking for a fight with a bunch of cafe patrons. Heaving a sigh, I dip my hand into my pocket and withdraw the knife. Flashing it in front of the mob says more than words ever could. They all back off, a few letting out snivels of despair. Aoi, either out of bravery or fear, holds her ground. A single watery tear welling in her left eye discloses her true feelings.
Leave. Everyone. Now.
It doesn't take more than this animalistic, primitive command to convince the crowd to disperse and rush for the door. John Wick of murder website. Aoi is amongst the fleeing throng, and she mouths the word sorry as she catches Junpei's eye. Oh, damn. Satisfied that we will not be interrupted further, I return my attention to Junpei. He sobs vocally.
Kill me, man. I'll do whatever you want, you know? Please, I'm begging you. I've got my whole life ahead of me.
Relax. Only one more question for you.
What? What is it?
Who runs the human removal service? Who is the Herald?
I'm being completely honest with you, man.
Saws, Aoi says to Junpei as she flees.
I don't know who he is. He wears this creepy-ass mask and never speaks.
Can't quite tell if the dog is being sincere or lying through his
I need
teeth.
more than that. Who would know his identity?
Shit. Look, man. The Human Removal Service. It's only the two of us. Me and the Herald. He recruited me online, you know? He makes me do his legwork. So, if I don't know who he is, no one does. Except him, of course.
Not good enough. Not the answer I'm looking for. I lean over the table once more, keeping the knife clearly within the dog's vision.
Not happy with that answer. Pick a finger.
Shit, no, dude, seriously. Ask me a different question.
Weird how all these guys loving murder websites and thinking they're rad cry like babies when they're about to be murdered themselves. Mad. The Herald might be a man, but it could just be a cover identity. That's true. Welcome to Fuckville, Junpei, population U.
Please.
Kojiro,
What? A voice I didn't expect to hear rings out from behind me.
Go.
enough.
What are you doing here?
Why are you here?
I overheard everything. It's enough information to use.
Is it?
Noriko strides forward. It's a little unnerving seeing her in the real world, away from the factory. She's been cooped up here for so long. Her pale skin looks almost otherworldly beneath the cafe's gaudy lights. For whatever reason, she's wearing her best clothes. They're almost clean, as though she recently did her own laundry. She walks with purpose, one foot in front of the other, but her gait is unsteady and she is visibly trembling. At the end of her path, she rests her palms against Junpei's table and takes a calming breath.
You stole the corpses from the morgue.
No.
Yes.
Noriko doesn't miss a beat as she flashes her phone at Junpei. I can't see what's displayed on the screen, but the dog hangs his head almost immediately.
It was me.
Alright.
I rocked the morgue.
Noriko pockets her phone and she then tosses a bundle of bandages onto the table. Bandages? Junpei hastily grabs the offering with his good hand.
Out of here. Get Aoi to bandage you up. And not a word of this to the police.
Yes.
With a great deal of effort and grimace, Junpei plucks the cutlery from his pierced hand and yelps. Not daring to remain in my presence any longer, he bolts toward the door.
You're just letting him go?
Yes.
Don't understand.
You don't need to.
Don't like that. Don't feel comfortable not knowing what's going
What
on.
did you show him on your phone?
Leave it, Kojiro.
What?
Put the knife away. We're leaving.
What is going on? I obey her orders, returning the knife to my pocket. I follow her unsteady lead and we exit the empty maid cafe. Noriko gasps unhealthily as she quickly consumes her weight in water. With a loud swallow, she brings her sleeve to her lips and wipes her mouth dry. The empty water bottle clatters against the concrete, and Noriko's gaze returns to me.
A bit better.
The visit to the maid cafe got the better of her. She spent too much energy intervening in the confrontation, but her motives for doing so remain unclear.
Fill me in.
There's no need to kill Junpei.
Why? He knows everything. Knows me, knows Tomoe. He knows... you.
Noriko hesitates, but she doesn't flinch at the revelation. Something tells me she already knew this much.
Junpei Matsumoto will be dead by sunrise.
What?
I made a request, Kojiro.
A request? The first thought that jumps out at me is that she requested for Corpse Girl to kill Junpei Matsumoto, but that's a ridiculous notion, isn't it?
I see. I don't think Corpse Girl can take care of him. He knows our whole operation.
Noriko's raised eyebrow conveys her confusion.
What? No, I didn't make a request through Corpse Girl's website. What would be the point of that?
A shrug, because I truly don't know what else she could have
I
meant.
used the other website,
What?
the Human Removal Service. I made a request for the death of Junpei Matsumoto.
And why do you think they would do that? Oh. But again, what good would that do? Junpei is an accomplice. If his colleague, the vulnerable, supposedly immortal Herald, receives a request to kill him, it would simply be ignored, unless a startling realization dawns on me.
Shit, of course. Why didn't I suggest that?
A haunting smirk is inscribed across Noriko's features. She knows what I have finally drawn to the same conclusion.
The Herald is ambitious. His convictions are strong. Absolute.
That's a good point.
Just like mine. Like Corpse Girl's.
Corpse Girl's convictions. Huh. Corpse Girl would never reject a request.
That's right. Junpei Matsumoto is disposable. A pawn. The Herald will deal death to him in the same manner as any other nameless victim.
I see.
But more important than Junpei being killed is what we will discover in the aftermath.
Explain.
By knowing that Junpei is the next to be targeted, we can observe him and witness the Herald's killing method firsthand.
Aha! It's brilliant. Noriko had laid the perfect trap. By sparing Junpei's life today, we have set him up to be slaughtered by his own compatriot, and we can use his death as a means to uncover exactly how the Herald brings low to his victims.
Have to add it to you. This is a pretty fantastic plan.
But I didn't get to murder him, so we don't get married now.
I know.
A few things.
You have doubts?
Not doubts, exactly. Firstly, how do we know exactly when Junpei will be killed?
Noriko sweeps her hair behind her ear and scoffs, as though the answer should be as clear to me as it is to
I
her.
specifically requested the time of death.
Oh.
You can do that?
The Human Removal Service demands it.
Interesting. Second topic. What if you're wrong?
What?
What if the Herald isn't willing to kill his own ally?
In that case, it will prove something important. It will prove that we are dealing with a complete amateur. Someone whose convictions could never reach the strength of Corpse Girl's.
And just like that, Noriko reaffirmed my earlier suspicions. Corpse Girl truly would destroy her own allies in order to see her ambitions fulfilled. Tomoe, myself, our souls are shackled to Corpse Girl's own black void, yet we are not safe from her wrath. Should Noriko will it, our flames will be snuffed out in moments. We are nothing to her. Dirt, dust, ash. We will be blown away like the useless, incinerated remains of a cadaver.
Understood. Let's uncover the secrets behind the Human Removal Service.
That isn't a terribly good argument. Yeah, I like mine better. Yeah, Junpei is loose end and a liability at this point. Absolutely. Another early morning, if you can call it that. Haven't gone to sleep yet, so it still feels like late night. Noriko has me on a short leash. Thinks she knows it, too. Apparently, she specified this is the place of Junpei's death. Don't know how she knew of it. This parking lot complex belongs to Junpei's apartment building. It extends 2 to 3 levels underground. Again, Noriko specified the exact location of the death. The Human Removal Service seems to take user requests very seriously.
Much further in.
Shh, keep your voice down. I'm just looking for a good vantage point that we can hide.
Her words are severed by a violent gasp. Unable to speak another word, she simply points. My eyes obediently follow the direction of her slender finger. Well! Okay. Alrighty then. Just, kinda did that. That isn't it. Alright.
Disappointing. Missed the main event.
Just, happened. Junpei Matsumoto is already dead. He's floating in a sea of his own lifeblood. A vicious stab wound practically glowed red along his back. After examining his remains, I turned my attention to the less interesting figure standing motionless beside him.
You.
The masked stranger looks like the villain from a B-rated slasher film. He's covered from head to toe in dark clothing, a zipped-up jacket and extra long sleeves, a hood, a shirt. It's cut from the figure's clothes. The cut of the figure's clothes combined with his physique gives me the impression that he may in fact be female. Is this the Herald we've been searching for? The bloody corpse at her feet would suggest that it is so.
Mask.
Hey, it's a shy guy! The mask, it's simple, white, probably porcelain. It's reminiscent of something, some fictional character, or maybe some film villain after all. The Herald still hasn't moved. She's as still as a statue, gaze vacant, her eyes impossible to discern behind the mask.
The Herald?
For the first time, the figure moves. Startling, jerky motion. Like the mannequin or puppet being pulled by strings. Her head cocks to the side and she seems to notice our presence for the first time. But as the answer to Noriko's question is not forthcoming. I step up to the plate.
Really,
I step up to the
Mortal?
plate. Oh boy. Oh boy. The Herald doesn't react to my voice like she reacted to Noriko's. She returned to a stiff, doll-like state. Pretty easy to prove if someone or something is immortal, and I've already had a curious mind. I draw the knife from my pocket and launch it at the mannequin. The blade embeds itself in the thing's shoulder, and she hasn't so much as flinched as a trickle of blood pools around the shining steel. Oh.
Oh, Mr. Hart.
Kojiro, why did you do that?
I shrug and take a step toward the Herald before Noriko tugs at the coat and pulls me back. She takes my place and puts herself between me and the
Tell
Herald.
us who you are. We deserve to know that much.
Something in Noriko's words, the sound of her voice or the tone of her plea, causes the Herald to move once more in acknowledgement, but the motion this time is quick, fast, calculated. The Herald moves a sleeved hand to withdraw the knife from her shoulder, and she allows the blade to drop down to the concrete ground with a dull ting. I mean, I think it could be. Absolutely, it could be Aoi. Before the knife hits the ground, the Herald turns her back on us and breaks into a sprint.
Shit. Not cut out to chase her.
Don't bother. We won't catch up.
The Herald disappears into the darkness of the parking lot. We are left standing by the corpse of Junpei Matsumoto.
We didn't see the killing, but...
You missed the start! How's it going, Darian? Darian. That's the word I'm probably looking for. Hope you're doing well! Yeah, we're on a mission now, and we've succeeded, but somebody else succeeded for us. Hope you're doing well, though. Welcome.
At least the request was granted.
Let's look on the bright side. Junpei's dead. Also, we are just so bad at everything we set out to do. Like, this, how did we not see this person kill this guy? What were we doing with our thumb up our ass this whole time? Jumpy is dead. She's right. Her gambit paid off. The Herald killed her own ally, and she has proven her convictions are strong. I crouched down to examine Junpei's corpse, but it's hard to get a good look in the darkness. Regardless, it's clear that the dog
Should
is
we leave the
dead.
body?
Going to send a text.
Huh? Who are you messaging?
See if I can pull a few strings. Wouldn't mind if the corpse ended up at my morgue.
What are you planning?
Nothing. Really.
Really?
Just want to prod and poke a bit.
Yeah. Like, stuff has happened. I can give you sort of the Cliff's Notes version. Because despite the fact that we are in a seemingly big event, not a lot has happened that it's just bad. So we went on the mission to assassinate Junpei at the Maid Cafe. We went in, we got really threatening with him. We stabbed his hand and everything, and we were gonna kill him, and Noriko showed up and was like, no, don't do it, it's fine. We can leave here, it's good, don't worry about it. So we leave the Maid Cafe and we go back to the corpse factory, and it's like, hey, don't worry, I requested his death on the other website, so he'll be dead by morning. And she did this to prove that the person running the other website, like, has the strongest convictions as her. So that's where we're at now, and that, like, she requested the death, and the Herald killed their own ally to prove that their convictions are stronger than holding on to an ally. Noriko's subsequent grunt is a clear indication that she doesn't fully believe me.
Do what you want. I've gained as much from this as I had hoped.
I let her trail off as I turned my attention to my phone. I swiped through my contacts and quickly composed a message to a few people in particular. If all goes well, an investigation team will shortly arrive to examine this scene. I'll be gone by then, but if my contacts do their jobs correctly, they'll haul Junpei back to the morgue. I pocket my phone and scurry toward the blood-soaked knife I launched at the Herald. It slides back into my pocket, and I signal to Noriko that we should depart.
Junpei Matsumoto.
She waves half-heartedly at the corpse and lets out a childlike giggle. A scant few hours of sleep didn't offer much in the way of refreshment. I have to be in a morgue again in an hour. Not that there's much to be done here not there's much to be done there since the place was robbed. Perhaps a few more cadavers will have arrived. Perhaps Junpei Matsumoto's corpse will be there. I should take this opportunity to take a breath. Been a while since life slowed down like this. No requests coming through for Corpse Girl. No bodies to haul around town with Tomoe. No cadavers to catalog at the morgue. Life should be good. I'm still alone, and Noriko may decide to discard me at any moment. Why does that make me want her more? Do I want to prove my worth, my value? Prove to her that I'm worth keeping around? Don't know. Doesn't matter in the long run. After brewing myself a cup of coffee using the French press Tomoe gifted me, I take a seat in my chair. Sitting alone in the darkness is somewhat depressing, but it's only temporary. I won't be alone forever. Soon, Noriko will sit here with me. We'll be together in the darkness. I'll make her see my worth. I'll make her love me the way that I love her. I'll make her fill the void that Shizuko left in my life. I'll make her treat the gnawing pain in my insides. I'll make her save me from falling into despair, from falling into old habits. Noriko will save me from myself, just like Shizuko once did. Oh, donate? You don't have to donate. There's no need to donate at all. I don't monetize my streams or anything, so it's no big deal. Koji is so pathetic and it's quite sad. Yeah, he's... I take a sip of my coffee. It's still a little hot and it scalds the gap in my mouth where my tooth once was. I appreciate the offer though, like, I appreciate you asking about it, but it's not something I need. It's totally cool. I don't think anything I do is worth paying money for. Yeah, just hang and have fun. That's enough for me. I just like having a place that's comfy and, you know, people can have good vibes in. That's all it is here. Just good vibes. Yeah, pieces of your soul and sanity get taken by this game anyway. That's a true payment. It hurts, but I'll be okay. Soon. It's hard to hide a smile when the plans unfold perfectly. The body was here, waiting for me, and I arrived at the morgue. Staring down at the pallid corpse of Junpei Matsumoto fills me with more satisfaction than I thought possible. The dog is dead, and my early morning encounter with this executioner wasn't just some fever dream born from wishful thinking. His body is riddled with stab wounds, deep, clean, piercing cuts. But these injuries were not inflicted by a knife. I'm no forensic pathologist, but the wounds are too thin and too deep. Each intrusion is about the width of a chopstick. I doubt he was killed by chopsticks, though. You can never rule out everything. My gaze pans down his body, looking for anything of interest. The rest of his form looks ordinary, nothing to note. I'll zip up the bag for now and return him to the allocated cold chamber. Might take him out once in a while to have a laugh. As I raise the zipper covering his legs and groin, I have to shift the arms to fit them within the HRP. And then I flinch, and my hands instinctively retract the cadaver. I'm used to the ice-cold touch of a body from this containment chamber, the sensation of lifeless, preserved flesh. Thus, it wasn't the sensation of a touch that caused me to startle. It was a sight of something out of the ordinary, something I'd somehow missed during my initial observation. Oh dear, it's Tool music, here we go. Shit's about to go down. Junpei's fingers. 5 thick, meaty digits on each hand. 10 perfectly intact, dead, but otherwise healthy fingers. It's fake! It was only days ago that I pierced 2 of his fingers with thumb and his pointer finger using cheap metal cutlery. I can't forget the distinct feeling of plunging those implements through the flesh and bone, pinning his fingers to a table. The corpse before me shows no evidence of ever being injured in such a manner. Nobody can heal wounds like that without medical attention. Even then, stitches and scars will remain, but Junpei Matsumoto's digits are 100% intact and puncture-free.
Interesting.
We got corpse girled! Come to think of it, did I snap another few fingers of his in half that time I confronted him outside his apartment? I'm sure I did. Crushed the bones within my own fist. But this corpse's hands don't show signs of that either. Normal to the touch. No visible bruising. On a whim, I pull out my phone and open Noise. I navigate to Junpei Matsumoto's profile, load a few profile images, swipe them one by one. I put my phone right next to Junpei's head, comparing the similarities between Junpei's photos and his dead body. Everything becomes clear immediately. Certain elements of Junpei's features don't match. His nose is broader in photos, his lips are thinner, more taut. The corpse in front of me is not Junpei Matsumoto. It's a copy, a clone. Junpei Matsumoto's death was faked for our entertainment. The body lying on the ground in front of the Herald was planted there before we arrived, planted to convince us that Junpei had met his maker. The Herald did not kill Junpei. The Herald simply used one of Corpse Girl's tricks and produced a carbon copy body. All in order to fool myself and Noriko. As this revelation settles in my mind, I come to another conclusion. The morgue being robbed was no coincidence. I can almost guarantee that the corpses used to replicate Junpei's death was stolen from this very place. A weapon of deception, stolen and turned against us. And the morgue was targeted before Noriko even requested Junpei's death. Almost as if the human removal services predicted Noriko's movements in advance. Is that even possible? All I know for sure is that the dog is still out there, still skulking around working for his master. This is starting to get interesting. Just a little bit. I'll be back in like a minute or two, okay?
I think I'm up to date.
Give me just a second. All right, I'm back. Oh, How to Date a Magical Girl? That's on my wish list. I'm definitely going to be looking at that. I know that, like, River Crow kind of, like, they basically absorbed the studio that made that game. Is kind of how I read it. So that's kind of what it looks like to me that happened anyways. Like, they were making their Japanese learning games, and then they absorbed the folks that made How to Date a Magical Girl. And I know that the dude that runs River Crow wrote this game. So anyway, we back. Sorry about that. Allergies are kicking my ass tonight, so I may have to step away and take care of that every now and again. Sorry about that. How to Date a Magical Girl. Slide into my DM.
I guess it was a good thing you decided to prod and poke Junpei's corpse, as you put it.
Guess so.
I thought you were just being your usual morbid self, taking corpses for your own use, whatever that may be.
Don't know what to tell you.
Well, I'm glad you acted.
You can take it with you. You can take my stream to the potty with you. It's fine.
Faking Junpei's death. What's their end?
I don't mind if you need to take a big dumpy wumpy while watching my stream, Elfino. It's totally okay.
What did they really accomplish by pulling such a stunt?
There's a million possible answers to that question. Can't know the real truth, not
Obvious
yet.
answer would be that they wanted to deceive us. Make us think we have the upper hand.
Oh, hey, Nerd, did you see that another installment of Higurashi got released on Steam? It's got Psychoroshi on it, and I'm gonna be streaming that once the 07th mod gets that into their engine. Don't know if you caught that came out last week or not.
I came to the same conclusion. They think they've fooled us, but we know better. Can we use that to our advantage?
Don't know.
Psychoroshi is real good. I'm so excited to kind of present that as sort of the capper for that series, because it's a great ending. It's a great epilogue.
Sometimes you're helpful, and other times you're just...
What?
Never mind.
Okay.
It irritates her when I withhold my thoughts. Sometimes I act like this just to elicit a reaction from her. She's cute when she's pissed
I
off.
don't know what we should do next. We're kind of at a dead end.
Yeah, he's not much of a loose end if they're willing to fake it.
Kind of.
Corpse Girl's website has gone silent. No one is requesting deaths anymore. But if I'm to believe the news, there are still dozens of people being killed all around the city. Which means the human removal service is still as active as ever.
Don't beat yourself up. Don't have any cadavers at the morgue anyway. Can't exactly fulfill any requests.
True.
She sighs and rubs her eyes. Despite her tired, exhausted appearance, she's dealing with recent events rather well. For Noriko, at any rate.
Can you let me know when the morgue starts filling up again?
Yeah, like, it's one of the two.
Sure. Hang on. There is one body there. Fake Junpei.
Yeah.
Not much use, though, I suppose.
No, not really. Keep me updated.
Okay.
She rubs her eyes again and tries to hold back a yawn.
Correct.
Sorry. Things are tough right now.
It'll get better. You'll cause some deaths soon enough.
It's okay, babe. Don't worry. We'll get you back to killing in no time, alright? You just perk right up. My words have a strange effect of actually cheering her up slightly. I know we're not exactly the most normal people. The things we do, the causes we devote ourselves to, they are wrong. There's no other way to put it. I know this. I trust that Noriko knows this as well. We're morbid, sick, disgusting. Noriko slaughters innocent people in the name of Corpse Girl, her fabricated idol, or alter ego, or whatever else she could be. As for me, I've got as much blood on my hands as Noriko does. She likes to believe she's innocent, but the truth is that she's just as guilty as any killer. I don't see myself the same way. I know for a fact that things that I've done are enough to put me behind bars for the rest of my life. I don't try to convince myself that I'm something I'm not. I'm a criminal, plain and simple. But Noriko is a kindred spirit. We're connected on some level that I don't expect the average person to understand. We're bonded by the things we've done, the death we've witnessed. Looking at her now, this tired girl, worn thin by stress, I can't help but be reminded of Shizuko. I messed up with Shizuko. I didn't take the time we had together seriously. I took it for granted. I won't make the same mistake with Noriko. I'll make her mine, and I'll prove my love to her every day. Perhaps that will convince her not to discard me when I've run out of use.
Want something to eat?
She glances at me and opens her mouth, but weighs her words before speaking.
Thanks, but you know me.
I know.
Of course I know. I know so much about her. She doesn't eat, not unless she absolutely has to in order to live for another
Something
day.
you like? A salad? I want to share a meal with you.
I can't.
Okay, I understand.
I do. I get it. It's Noriko. Her convictions are what I admire most about her. What would it say of her? What would it say of her character if I could break her convictions with a simple invitation?
We should get married.
We should. Great. Good change of topic.
Huh?
A few days ago, you said you'd be mine.
Yeah, but that's if you murdered Dude Man.
I told you something like that, yeah. But that had a condition. You had to kill Junpei.
She won't have any room for the nihilism. She's right. I didn't manage to kill him. Does this mean I don't deserve her?
Maybe there's something else I could do? Let me prove that I'm a man you can love.
I'll think about it.
I'll think about it. You know what? That's a start. That's how all good relationships start, right? That seems like that's not gonna lead to any kind of toxicity in a relationship at all whatsoever, is it? I'll take that. It's better than an outright no.
Maybe you should get going for now. I need to sleep.
Okay.
I'll leave her be. Should get some sleep myself.
Bye, Kojiro.
Something about the way she says my name sends a chill down my spine. It's not a pleasant sensation. It's not a feeling of elation or excitement. It's uncomfortable, disconcerting. I shrug it off and leave the factory. All of my favorite religion I do. Oh. What? Okay. That sucks. I have an uncannily vivid recollection of dragging Shizuko's corpse through the streets the night she was killed. I had witnessed a collision. I watched speechless as the asshole who ran her down drove away like a coward. Took me a while to gather the strength to collect her crumpled body from the asphalt. But then, it was around 7 o'clock. By then, it was around 7 o'clock. The sun had set, but a sliver of light still peeked over the horizon, tinting the sky with an orange hue. People kept screaming at me. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I wasn't trying to smear Shizuko's blood on the sidewalk. I just wanted to take her home. She was hurt or dead. No point in leaving her in the middle of the road. She didn't comment on my suit. Got all dressed up just for her. Didn't comment on the ring, even as I slipped it on her stiff finger. She didn't say a word about the size of the diamond. But she made a unique sound as I walked. It rings in my ears now and then, especially when I catch myself in quiet moments. Didn't know what it was at the time. It punctured the silence between my heavy footsteps. Turns out the sound was caused by the fabric of her dress stretching and ripping against the coarse texture of the sidewalk. Neighbors asking for a ride. You will definitely catch some fun. All right, Elfino. Hope you have a nice rest of your evening. If you can't catch the rest of the stream, the VOD will be here. So, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, as always. It's always a pleasure having you here, dude. She made that sound for the entire journey home. My footsteps, thud, thud, Shizuko, shirk, shirk, shirk. People screaming, ah! The cacophony of irritating noise assaulted us during the entire expedition. Silence didn't rear its ugly head until we arrived at our destination. Wasn't easy getting her up the stairs to my apartment. I'd carried her in my arms dozens of times, always effortlessly, but during the final ascent, Shizuko's weight exceeded the limit of my muscles. Had no choice but to drag her up slowly, a single step at a time. Wasn't my fault her head cracked against every step. What the fuck? Yeah, I think he's keeping this corpse and it's gonna be stuck in a wall. Oh, wow. Once we were inside, I finally had the opportunity to examine the damage. Her limbs were flattened, her chest had caved in, ribs crushed and ground into a fine dust. Remarkably, her beautiful face remained unmarred. She looked at peace, despite having died in a pure agony not long before. That's true love, absolutely. Neighbor gives you cash to give them a ride with gas. Hey, I don't blame you, dude. You gotta, hey, take it any way you can get. That's another reason I wouldn't take money from people right now. People fucking need their cash. Like, absolutely, get that bread, my friend. And that was the last time I kissed her. I planted my lips on hers and found comfort in the slight warmth that still remained, and then I closed her eyes. My memory of that event is so clear that thinking about it feels like I'm reliving it again for the first time. The pain hasn't dulled, but I'm glad I don't live in that apartment anymore. Climbing those steps every day would only serve to remind me of dragging Shizuko behind me. I cut myself free from the chains that shackled me to her, but I can never destroy the memories. I think they'll haunt me until the end of my days. Perhaps that's why I'm so desperate to fill the void she left in my life, but desperate to distract myself from the love of another. And yet, at that time, I didn't want to let her go. I wanted to hold her cold, lifeless corpse to my body and simply waste away so I could join her in the afterlife. In fact, I was so attached to her corpse that I did something I'd never done before, not once, in all my history of toying with dead bodies. I decided to keep her! Yep! Well then, how's it going, ma'am? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I thought he was gonna diddle her. I was thinking, please don't say you diddled her. Please don't say that. This game's not that kind of game, though. This game has not been very vulgar, despite the fact, like, it's gone out of its way to stay as mature as possible. Yeah, she's got really nice hoop earrings. I would wear those. Killer accessories. But, don't know whether it was out of despair or depression or desperation. Don't truly know why I decided to do such an odd thing. Possessed by a single disturbing idea, I emptied out the small storage chest in the old apartment, discarded everything within, and then carefully, delicately, lovingly placed Shizuko inside the dark space. She stood up against the wall, almost casually, like she was alive. I held her in place with some rope fastened to the wall, a loop around her neck and a few bindings around her waist. She sagged a little, but it wasn't overly noticeable. There, Shizuko stood before me. Though her gaze had lowered, I could almost fool myself into thinking she wanted to greet me. Man, I saw a story a couple weeks ago about a rapper that got killed, and they took his body to this strip club that he used to go to and fastened it to a pole and like had like a wake there with his body and strippers. It was very weird. You can probably find the news story, but it was just awkward as shit reading that. Weekend at Bernard's, Part 3, Love Never Dies. Or she wanted to simply say goodbye. Goodbye. Something I'd never considered saying to her. But I knew it was time. Time to say goodbye to her and to say goodbye to myself, the me that shared a life with her. The me that lived in shame at the things I'd done. Into that small storage room I piled the evidence of my guilt. All the macabre and sickening paraphernalia I had collected over the years found a home within that dark space. Photos of corpses, tomes written about embalming and mummification, countless books by Nobel Sinclair, and an author I held so dearly to my heart. Everything and everyone that made up Kojiro found itself inside that room. Yeah, they probably were. And with one last look at the girl, I slammed the door and locked it tight. The ceremonial act of locking away everything I once loved had a cathartic effect, but the moments after that aren't as clear in my mind. I know that I sealed up the room and concealed the door, but I don't recall the effort that went into doing so. I was right! There was a body in the wall. I know that I decided to leave the apartment behind, but I don't recall talking to the landlord. I know that I tried to move on from being the person I once was, but I don't know how much I truly changed. Because just over a year later, I'm still in this world, taking part in truly disturbing acts. I'm still obsessed with the dead, and I'm still fawning over Noriko. Maybe people can't change after all. Maybe I've been fooling myself this whole time into thinking that I'm different now, but I'm not. I'm the same as I always was. I'm still just Kojiro. Maybe that's okay. Yeah, that'd be kind of weird. How would you not notice that closet disappeared?
Some good news for you.
Really? What is it?
A few new cadavers were in the morgue when I arrived tonight.
Ah,
Also, I was thinking
what about?
something funny. We went to such lengths to make sure we didn't get caught stealing cadavers from here.
And?
Well, it's amusing that the entire place was ransacked by the Human Removal Service, but no one ever investigated.
Self-love is important, chat.
No one here seemed to really care.
We tried so hard to cover our tracks, being careful about every single corpse we lifted. Then those assholes just waltzed in and stole everything without any repercussions.
Yeah,
It makes me sick. I want to bring them down.
yeah.
Anyway, how many bodies came in today?
4. Not a great deal, but a start. Give it a week or two, and this place should be packed once more.
Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know.
Of course.
See you.
Later.
Since I've already cataloged the new arrivals, I figure I can relax for the rest of my shift. I plant myself in the uncomfortable steel chair parked near the morgue's entryway. A few moments later, I'm lost within the flashing lights from my cell phone screen. Don't know how long I zoned out for, but when I come to, Noriko's name is emblazoned across my screen. Strange for her to call me now, since we spoke just before.
Yo,
You're not going to believe this.
try me.
Somebody requested a death.
Well, good for us! That explains the excitement in her voice.
Congrats. It's been a while.
It's been far too long. I thought we were done for. I thought Corpse Girl's website had fallen into obscurity.
Happy for you.
Kojiro, we can't let this slip through our fingers. We need a victory here. This new request has to be fulfilled immediately. I want this victim to die with a bang. I want his death to propel Corpse Girl's name back into the limelight.
Roger. Awaiting your orders.
I'm sending you the Vix photo. Get me a corpse that matches his appearance, just like usual.
Only got a handful of bodies here, remember? Going to be a long shot.
Do whatever the fuck you have to do.
Her icy cold command leaves no room for misinterpretation. The call ends and I immediately receive a message from Noriko. Opening it up reveals a photo of Corpse Girl's latest victim. Male, mid-30s or so, fairly unremarkable guy. Let's see what bodies are in stock. Yo, Grims! It my good pal Grims. How's it going? Grimmy Grims! Hope you're doing well this fine Saturday. You show up as the bodies drop, right? Yeah, I think like every time you've showed up for this, like the shit starts going down. Yeah, how you doing? Hope things are going well. Let's see what bodies are in stock. Maybe Grims is actually Corpse Girl. Maybe that's what's going on here, since every time Grims shows up, the bodies start hitting the floor. I heave myself off the steel chair and log into the morgue's computer. Scanning through the inventory only takes a few seconds. There are 5 cadavers here in total. 4 arrived today, plus Junpei Matsumoto look-alike. Looking through the details reveals that of the 5, 3 are female and 2 are male. I immediately rule out using the Junpei look-alike corpse for this request. He's a heavy-set body and doesn't match the victim at all. I'll need to take a look at the other male, but I don't like the odds of finding a match. I navigate to the cold chambers and open up the cache housing the corpse in question. The cold air spewing forth in the open compartment fogs up my glasses. I calmly remove them, wipe them against my coat, and return them to their rightful place. After unzipping the body bag, I am met with the face of death, a sight that I have become more than accustomed to after many long years of working here. The guy is just as average looking as Corpse Girl's victim. Seems like the type of person you wouldn't notice in a crowd, simply be a blur against a sea of bodies. Might be exactly what we need. I compare his features to those of the victim in the photo. He looks similar. Couldn't exactly mistake him for a relative, but maybe with a bit of Noriko's makeup handiwork, he might pass off as a close enough copy. Only one problem. Unzipping the body bag further reveals that this guy only has one arm. His left arm has been severed just below the elbow, having a surgical stump. It's something that he was clearly lived with for years because the area in question is clean. Probably had a prosthetic limb before being moved to the morgue. That particular feature is a deal breaker. Too hard to convince the victim that this is his own corpse if it's missing a limb, although perhaps Noriko could factor the missing limb into the cause of death. If I bloodied the stump a bit, I could make it look like he lost an arm before he died. I reach for my phone and call Noriko back, getting sick of the chit-chat.
You find a suitable corpse?
Almost. Got a guy about the same age and build. Plain face. Needs some work, but could do the job.
Great! I'll send Tomoe over with the van right away.
Just one thing.
What?
The body is missing an arm.
Oh, that is a problem.
Yeah. Can you edit the corpse photo so that the victim is missing an arm? Make it look like it got chopped off before he died. That way, when he receives the actual corpse, he'll be expecting a missing limb.
No.
No?
I'm already in the middle of making the photo. I'm not changing it now.
Then I don't know what to tell you. Don't have any other suitable bodies.
Make it work, Kojiro.
That venomous tone again.
I do. Not going to roam the street and kill someone that looks like the Vic.
Come up with something else then. Hell, chop your own arm off and attach it to the corpse. I don't care what you do.
You know, I liked her when she was a little nicer about this whole corpse business.
But I need the body within the hour. If you let me down, I'll never be with you.
Oh, that's low.
Our relationship is tied to Corpse Girl's fate. If you let her down, you'll let me down. And I don't like being let down.
My phone beeps twice as if to protest Noriko abruptly ending the call.
Fantastic.
She likes backing me into corners. What am I supposed to do? It's clear that she doesn't really have any intention of being with me. She's using me, dangling the promise of something I desire right in front of me, and yet I need to have her. I need to prove to her that she could be with me. I lower my glasses and gently rub my brow with my fingers.
Shit.
I've got an idea, but I can't believe I'm about to do this. I slide my glasses back up and adjust them so they're comfortable once more. I fetch the mobile mortuary lift in the angle, and underneath the tray protruding from words. Hold on. I fetch the mobile mortuary lift and angle it underneath the tray protruding from the open cold chamber. With a great deal of effort, I detach the tray from the chamber. It rests upon the top of the mortuary lift, allowing me to wheel the corpse across the morgue. After pushing it halfway across the open room, I let the wheels come to a stop directly underneath one of the ceiling's glaring fluorescent lights. With that done, I turn to rummage around in a cabinet. I sort through a number of tools until I find what I'm looking for. Clutching a sterile implement and shaking a hand, I return to the corpse lying atop the steel tray. I roll up the sleeves of my coat. What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Goes.
Well, fuck. Well, wow. This dude is down bad. Holy shit! Dude, you ain't even felt that coochie yet, and you're this down bad? Jesus H! When the metal bone saw digs into the soft flesh of my arm, I have to grip my teeth and refrain from screaming. I angle the blade so that it cuts away from my elbow. Need to leave that intact. The cutting process is pure agony. To prevent myself from passing out, I keep my breathing steady and I try to focus on something simple. Something my brain can handle while aflame with pain. I begin to count. 1, 2, 3. It's like a Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. I count the seconds that it takes for the jagged metal saw to reach bone. 15, 16. Still just flesh and muscle and blood spurting from my coat. 20, 21. I think I reached sinew in 24 seconds, but it's hard to tell because there's a terrible numbness that is somehow worse than the original searing agony. My fingers clutching the saw begin to slip due to perspiration. It's getting harder to even hold the tool. After some 32 odd seconds, the saw hits bone. Why don't you just cut the arm off of another corpse? Yeah, sorry, Cappy. I think we're a little late to the party on that one. Yeah, there were probably better ideas we could have gone here. Lots of better decisions. I feel we could have all made better decisions. I slide it back and forth, cutting into the dense matter with as much strength as my failing body can muster. Vomit and drool have soaked the front of my coat and begun to smear together with the blood. It's forming a shallow pool at my feet, and the stench of the mixing liquids threatens to overwhelm my senses. Counting the seconds has become infinitely more difficult. 43, 44, 430. Is it 21 seconds so far? No, it's been longer than that. It has to have been a minute by now. I've been sawing into my own arm for a full minute. The blade still hasn't cut through all of the bone. Don't recall when I fell to my knees. Don't recall when I stood back up. Don't recall running my slimy fingers through my hair, or when flecks of blood spattered against my glasses, or when my bladder relieved itself. Don't even recall why I'm doing this. Is it for Shizuko? Is it because I love her? No. Noriko. It's for Noriko. Actually, it's for Corpse Girl. I have to prove I'm worthy of her. I have to be loved by her. There's nothing else for me. 97, 98. As my count reaches 99 seconds, my right arm falls to the wet tiled floor, flopping like a dead fish against the deck of a boat. I let out a groan of what I can only be called relief when I slump in on myself, resting in a pool of foul liquid. My vision is blurry, my breathing is ragged. The sane part of my consciousness knows that I need to treat my wound. I need to apply a tourniquet or cauterize the damage, or I'm going to just bleed out and die on the floor of my own morgue. But a quiet voice in my mind, the very same one that drove me to this extreme measure, urges me to finish my work. Getting to my feet is a struggle. I try to push myself up off the ground using both arms, but of course, I fall flat on my face and my right arm fails to react to my mental instructions. I think the lenses of my glasses smashed against the tiles because my eyes seem to be bleeding now. A second attempt at pushing off the ground is more successful. My left arm is somehow strong enough to hoist my barely responsive body. I sway and stagger around aimlessly before correcting myself enough to attempt to fish my severed arm off the ground. Luckily, I managed to grasp the blood and vomit-soaked wrist of my former limb with my one good hand. I drag myself toward the mortuary lift that holds the corpse I need to attach my arm to. But I didn't think this through. I don't really know how to attach a severed limb. I bludgeon the corpse's stump with my useless arm, trying to find some point of connection that will magically fuse the limb to the corpse. Hey, sorry, you gotta lift corpses now. It's hopeless. And as I madly flail the arm around, I can't help but laugh at the whole situation. Of course I can attach my arm to this corpse. The corpse is missing its left arm. I cut off my right arm. Ha ha! We fucked up!
Good one.
I throw my useless detached arm behind me and rest my weary body against the mortuary lift. Accompanying my laughter is the laughter of somebody else nearby. I have to listen really intently to confirm I'm not just hallucinating. But I'm certain that somebody just walked into my line of vision, even though there's nothing more than a dark, blurred silhouette.
Oh, bro. You don't look so hot.
What is going
Cut off
on?
your own arm?
What the fuck, dude? I know that voice. I could play, but I can't place it right now. It's not my voice, and it's not Noriko's voice.
Take the pain away.
Yes, please. I'd give anything to remove the pain. I can't voice my consent. My mouth is dry. My jaw is locked in place.
Nothing a little fire can't fix.
The figure comes close. He smells foul, like a dog that is bathed in gasoline. A dog. A heavy-set figure that I now assume is Junpei Matsumoto is crouched near me. The smell of gasoline intensifies as he pours some sort of cold liquid all over my clothes.
I gotta light this place up. But you guys didn't get the hint when we stole all of your corpses. Well, you ain't gonna be nothing without your precious Morn. And Corpse Girl is gonna wither away without her right-hand man. Right hand.
Ha! I gotta give him credit. That's actually pretty funny. That's actually really, really, really funny. Junpei, if I could clap right now. If I could clap right now, my friend. This is what a one-handed clap sounds like. Doing the best I can here.
Get it, Gojimbo?
The way he deliberately mispronounces my name really bothers me. It bothers me so much that the anger boiling inside me gives me the strength to open my mouth once more.
It's Kojiro. Sure, bro. Sleep tight.
The dog lifts his body and disappears into oblivion behind my sight. The unmistakable sound of a match being struck should fill me with panic, but I feel strangely calm. Warm, glowing tendrils of flame flicker around the outskirts of my vision. Fire. The entire morgue is alight. The acrid smell of smoke quickly covers up the odor of gasoline. Fire. I lost my family to fire so many years ago. Maybe it's fitting that I should perish the same way. Fire. I hate fire. I hate it and fear it. Fire. It's everywhere, surrounding me. The sickening stench of burning flesh permeates my nostrils, and I realize that it's the smell of my severed arm being incinerated behind me. Fire. I close my eyes. Really sleepy right now. Lost a lot of blood after all.
Sorry, Noriko. Sorry I loved you.
Well, fuck. Oh, that's Act 2 complete. That's Act 2, everybody. Oh, what the fuck do we do now? Owie! Oh, Jesus, what's gonna happen now? 1 month later. Oh, shit. Kinda happy he's dead. He was clearly not in a good place. Okay. I'll be right back in a couple of minutes. And we will continue. We'll be, this will be maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm gonna get up, stretch out a bit. Everybody do the same. We'll be back. We're gonna dive more. We're gonna dive in more. I gotta know where this is going. Cause now we're gonna get to play as our most beloved little cinnamon roll Owie. We finally get to experience life as a true angel. All right, be right back in like 2 or 3 minutes. Did you miss me? I'm back. Hey, it's me. How's it going? So we're gonna be Owie now. Who's ready for sweet, adorable cinnamon roll hour? I mean, look at where we're starting. You could not have started at a happier place. Look at us go. All right, let's get to it. Ooh, I'm so mad. I really wish I could scream at him. I really, really, really want to scream, but he's one of my best customers. I just wish he would take the rules seriously.
I said no free refills.
This will be very normal. The squeak of my voice surprises even me. Gosh, I've never yelled at a customer before. It feels so liberating. I feel free. The customer hangs his head. He looks guilty as I feel. He looks as guilty as I feel on the outside. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have raised my voice at him. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm gonna get fired for this. I just know it.
Sorry, Miss Owie. I'll never ask again, I promise.
Make sure you don't.
God, love a girl that'll stand up for herself. That's it. Don't let him see you back down. Be firm, girl. Stand up for yourself. The customer scurries away and I nearly faint from the adrenaline pounding through me. What a rush. I can't believe I didn't back down.
Deep breaths.
When I feel like I've calmed down, I fetch a cloth and begin to wipe down some tables. This place hasn't been too busy lately. I still shake when I think about the incident last month that drove away a lot of our customers. That man, the tall, scary man with glasses and an evil face. He hurt my sweet little Junpei. He cornered him in this very cafe and stabbed his fingers with cutlery. God, okay, maybe Owie isn't a shithead. What kind of sick freak does such a thing? I know there's something between those two. I can't ever forget the time that man left Junpei all bruised and broken on the ground outside his apartment. I hate that man. Who does he think he is, bullying my sweetheart? A pleasant little chime rings out from my pocket, and I recognize it as a notification I set to let me know when the cafe is closing.
Guess I better get going.
Luckily for me, I'm not on closing duty tonight. My coworkers will take care of all that. All I need to do is sign out of the employee app on my phone, and my full shift will be automatically recorded. Then I'll get paid on time, just like usual.
Bye, everyone.
I wave farewell to the other girls and duck out the front door. As usual, my cute little honeybee is awaiting me outside. Aww.
Junpei.
I rush to his arms and give him a hug, a big snuggly cuddle.
I'm so happy to see you.
Of course, babe. I'm always here for you. How was your shift?
Not so bad.
Glad to hear it. Guess things really have changed around here.
Yep. It's so much better since the old manager left.
Good, good. You come tell Junpei if anyone else gives you trouble, yeah?
Oh, okay. This guy got the old manager killed, it'd be my guess. Something like that, maybe? And then he was like, babe, check it out. I took care of everything for you.
I will.
I nuzzle into his broad chest once more and immediately feel safe and
Can I
warm.
Come back to your place.
Yes.
He holds my hand and leads me toward the train station. I'm so excited to be with him again.
Would you like tea, my dear?
Whoa now, Sugar Plum. You've been serving drinks to people all day. You go kick your feet up and I'll do the brewing.
Junpei is so thoughtful. Every word he says makes it clear how much he cares for me.
Thank you.
I heed his instruction and nestle myself comfortably onto the sofa. As I wait for him to finish up in the kitchen, I scroll through my noise feed. I don't have that many friends on here, mainly just family members, but I still like to see what everybody's up to lately. Plus, Junpei always shares funny memes and pics on his profile, so I love seeing those. After scrolling through for a minute, I come across a status update from a friend I haven't heard from in a while. Noriko Kurosawa. No Kurosawa, 2 hours ago. Hey 3. Eh?
What does that mean?
Her entire post is short and meaningless. It just says, hey 3. What on earth could she mean by that? When was the last time I talked to Noriko anyway? She used to call me all the time. I used to call her too, but somewhere along the line we fell out of touch. After I introduced her to Junpei, I kinda got the feeling she was jealous. Noriko always had feelings for me. Maybe being introduced to my boyfriend really hurt her. Oh, now I feel
Tea, my
terrible.
love.
Oh, now I really do have a cinnamon roll. Junpei sits down two teacups on the small coffee table in front of the sofa. Steam rises slowly from both cups. The sight and scent immediately relaxes me.
Thank you, Pumpkin.
Maybe it made her a little jealous. Junpei scoots to the sofa right next to me and he leans his hand on my shoulder. I raise a hand and run it through his hair to continue scrolling through the noise feed with my other hand. A post from a guy I went to school with, Shinya Fujikawa, grabs my attention. One step closer to solving the mystery of the deaths around Tokyo. Helping my father, Senior Detective Fujikawa, collect evidence from the crime scenes. It's like a dream come true. Thank you, Father. So you are actively involved, huh? Weird. Interesting. I think Shinya always wanted to be a detective. Come to think of it, we were supposed to work together at Temujin. Shinya lined up that job for me and I...
Dude.
Junpei's gaze fixated on Shinya's profile picture.
Oh, Shinya?
I tap his pic and I load his full
We
profile.
went to school together.
I scan through his profile and read some more of his recent posts. 2 days ago, my father, Senior Detective Fujikawa, has enlisted me to help with his top secret investigation. Can't divulge any further information. My lips are sealed. Top secret! 4 days ago. So happy that I managed to get a lead on this case. I submitted some information to the detective in charge of the serial numbers around Tokyo, Senior Detective Fujikawa, who just happens to be my father! And he said that I can join the investigation team as a probationary member. Weird!
This guy has a real father complex, doesn't he?
Maybe.
7 days ago. No one tells you what to expect when you experience heartbreak. No one tells you how hollow and empty you feel. Oh, he lost Tomoe. It's important to throw yourself into your work, so I will do so.
Heartbreak? Something about this dude tells me he's never had a girlfriend in his life.
I wonder.
8 days ago. Farewell, my love. I'm sorry I couldn't be the man you wanted me to be. To Tomoe Watanabe, my soulmate, my other half, my one and everything, please forgive me.
Jeez, have some dignity, dude.
Wow. He really likes to share everything, doesn't he?
No kidding!
I swear, he never used to be this dramatic.
This is the kind of dude that, like, he will message you. Like, if you haven't replied to him on Twitter in like 4 or 5 days, he will DM you to ask you if you've muted him and if you've made him mad, or if he's made you mad. I've had people do that to me. It's very fucking awkward. Junpei yawns and puts his arm around me. A classic move. He's so sweet and romantic. I put my phone down and snuggle into his body. He's like a big,
I
soft
should
teddy
get going
bear.
once I finish this cup of tea.
Really? Do you have to go?
Yeah, sorry, babe. I gotta check in on Mom tonight.
Oh, okay.
You'll be okay, right?
Mm,
The thought of being alone forms a pit in my stomach.
I'll help you out before I leave.
thank you.
Junpei takes one last sip of his tea and gets to his
I'll
feet.
check the usual stuff.
Yes, please.
He walks behind the sofa and ruffles my hair with his rough hand. The bandages wrapped around his fingers feel coarse against my scalp. As he wanders around my small apartment, he calls out to me.
Oven and stovetop are both switched off. The kitchen tap is off, no drips.
He moves on to the bathroom and his voice echoes against a tiled wall.
Tap's off in here too. And the shower is off.
Finally, he moves to the front
I'll lock
door.
this door properly when I walk out. You just have to put the deadbolt in place, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Anytime, sugar. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Love.
Love. Love. Love. Love. Love. Why am I doing that? What am I doing? Hey, Dr. Doobie. It's going. How you going, Dr. Doobie? Boom. Look at that. All right. How's it going, Doobaloob? How did the Ace Attorney treat you? Fantastic Barney impression. Thank you very much. Doing my best over here. Pretty sleepy? Is the you-know-what kicking in? With that, Junpei walks out the door and closes it behind him. I quickly dash from the sofa to the door and slide the deadbolt in place.
The door is locked. The door is locked. The door is locked.
I take a deep breath and tiptoe back to the sofa, then collapse onto it. Junpei is so good to me. He truly helps me out. When I'm alone, I find it hard to be sure that everything is in order. I can't sleep or leave the apartment if there's a possibility that I've left a tap running or an appliance switched on. I can't relax if I think a door might be unlocked. I have to check things again and again until there's no shadow of a doubt that things are the way they should be. I don't remember when this obsessive compulsive behavior first started, but I've been battling it for as long as I can recall. At the very least, when Junpei is here, he checks everything for me. He's so good to me. He saves me so much time. It stops me from having to stand in front of the kitchen sink for 5 minutes, constantly checking and double checking the tap if the tap is running. Logically, I know it's easy to see if water is flowing from the faucet. You can see it, you can hear it, and you can feel it if you slip your hand underneath the flow. But logic rarely applies when I find myself second-guessing my own senses. I can glance at the faucet and tell myself that it's been turned off properly, it's not dripping. Then I turn away. What if I'm wrong? What if it's actually still running? I feel like my mind is betraying me. I feel like I can't trust anything I see or hear. When in doubt, it should be a simple matter of just quickly checking one more time. The more I check, the less certain I become. And it's not just the faucet I have trouble dealing with, it's nearly everything. I unplug appliances from the power sockets to make sure they're definitely not still running. I flick light switches on and off 20 times in a row to ensure that I haven't left a bulb on when I leave a room. I open and close doors repetitively. The locks are the worst. I have to examine them from every possible angle to convince myself that no one can possibly break in. Faster than you thought it would be. My condition is completely and utterly fucked up. Struggling against it causes other horrible afflictions to evolve inside me. Anxiety, depression, self-hatred. It just feels like I can't do anything without the shadow of my compulsive behaviors looming over me and controlling me. And so tonight, like many other nights, I decide to sleep right where I am, here on the sofa. Getting up and going to my bedroom is too much effort. Sleeping where I am is just much, much easier. I begin to drift off, my face planted against the sofa cushion, my legs draped over the armrest. Yeah, we're Aoi now. The game acting like this is the worst thing we've seen so far. Aoi, you're a pretty normal girl. I mean, look, OCD, it's a thing people go through. Absolutely. But you know what? To my knowledge, you have not caused anybody's murder yet. I understand that with the game that we are playing, that is a thought that could very well change. That is a reality that could backfire on us. But for now, I'm just going to assume, Aoi, you're pretty normal so far. I'm thankful I don't have to work at the maid cafe today. My neck is a little sore from a terrible night's sleep, but I won't let that get me down. It's Monday, the start of a fresh, brand new week. I've got lots of exciting things to look forward to. For starters, I'm expecting a delivery of some items I ordered online over the weekend. It's mostly snack food, but still, I can't wait. Secondly, I'll get to see my Junpei again this afternoon. I'm going to meet him when he finishes work. Third, my favorite anime airs on Monday nights. There's a new episode every week. Well, except for when they run repeats after a season is just finished. Junpei loves anime as much as I do. Granted, he's not into my favorite series. He's not into my favorite series. He says it's a little too girly, but he likes a lot of other shows. We have so much fun discussing characters and stories we like, even if the shows he watches scare me a little bit. Yes, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good week. My upbeat mood is instantly shattered when Noriko Kurosawa's name lights up on my phone screen. Well, damn. She's calling me? We haven't spoken in so long. Why? What does she want from me? Noriko, she's such a chore. She whines and complains so much about her life, but she doesn't know how good she has it. So what if she's scared of leaving her apartment? Agoraphobia isn't that bad. I'm scared of everything. Everything! She's so selfish, thinking that she's the only one who has it rough. I'm so tired of tiptoeing around her feelings and her stupid sensitivities.
Hello?
Oh, man. Oh, man!
Aoi? Hi, Noriko. Hey, listen. I know it's been a while, but can I stay at your place for a few days? I got booted out of my apartment for not paying the rent, and, well, I was living in this abandoned factory, but
Oh, shit.
I can't do it anymore. I hate being there alone. The guy I was spending time with just disappeared, and now, Aoi, are you there?
Is this crazy bitch for real? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. She hasn't spoken to me for weeks, months, and now she wants to live in my apartment?
Aoi? Sorry, Noriko. You can't stay here. Well, fuck you too.
Whoa! Okay. My phone beeps twice and the call abruptly ends. What the hell is her problem? Before I can even blink, she calls me again. I'm hesitant to answer this time, but...
Noriko? Sorry, I overreacted. I think I'm in trouble. I think Corpse Girl is trying to kill me, and I need somewhere safe to stay.
Jesus Christ. Corpse Girl is trying to kill her? I think Noriko has finally lost the plot. Hey, we lost the plot. You think Noriko has finally lost the plot? Just now? Just now is when Noriko has finally lost the plot. Man, we need to catch you up, Aoi, my girl. I mean, yeah, it does make sense in a certain way. Whatever sliver of sanity she once held onto has finally slipped between her fingers.
Noriko, Corpse Girl isn't trying to kill you. What? How would you know? You are Corpse Girl. Remember?
What? What? It's just the worst fucking kept secret. Noriko, you are so bad at this. You are so incredibly terrible at this.
What? How do you? I'm the one who wants to kill you. I'm going to fucking murder you in your sleep.
What? Noriko's silence convinces me that her memory is returning. Perhaps she called me in some delirious state or because of some fever dream. The call disconnects as she curses. That stupid bitch, did she seriously forget who she was talking to? I've had it up to here with her. As soon as Junpei works out the location of her factory, I'm going up there myself to slit her throat open with my face. What is happening to everybody? What is going on? What in the fuck is going on? You want that Aoi line as a sound alert? Oh, fucking shit, dude. I'll let her bleed all over me and tell her that she never meant a thing to me. I don't care how much she loves me. I'll end her life quickly before she has a chance to confess her feelings with one last gasping, dying breath. Once Noriko is dead, the human removal service will no longer... Oh my god. What the fuck, dude? What the shitting fuck is going on? I'm just... Oh my fucking Christ, dude. We're gonna divvy up into Team Aoi or Team Noriko? Oh, Jesus Christ. Team Tomoe, get them flags ready, everybody. Get your Tomoe flags out. Oh, Jesus fucking... What is... Once Noriko is dead, the human removal service will no longer have any competition. And I'll finally be able to take her place as Corpse Girl. At least she got out before everything went to shit. Love it when a character you think is garbage turns out to maybe have done something right after all. Hashtag Team Tomoe. God, what if everybody just has aspirations to be Corpse Girl at this point? Oh God, we're going in. We're going in. It's Aoi and Noriko lore time, everybody. Let's go. During our school years, I was always envious of Noriko. She was so beautiful, so slim and graceful, and she had a wonderful family, parents that loved her more than anything. I never had any of that. I wanted so badly to be her. I struggled with my weight back then, but it wasn't the worst of it. I had an abusive mother and a father that essentially ignored my existence. Well, until he killed me by splitting my neck up. What? What? Okay. I had an abusive mother and a father essentially ignored me until he killed me by splitting my neck open. I would have given anything to trade places with Noriko and feel alive again. It didn't matter to me that Noriko complained about every aspect of her life. She moaned about how much she despised her delinquent sister. She griped about how her father walked out on her but still sent her a birthday card every year. She lamented over the time her mother tried to kill herself in front of her and her sister. Her mother hung from the ceiling, barely alive, for hours and hours until Yuriko figured out how to call for an ambulance. But I would have taken all of that trauma over my own upbringing. I would have traded my life for hers without a second thought. Noriko had no idea how lucky she was. Even after all these years, I never really overcame my envy of her. I even went as far as to request her death through Corpse Girl's website. Of course you did! Of course she didn't die. How could she have? Junpei figured it out before I did. He forced his way into Corpse Girl's website and viewed all of the death requests. Someone, Noriko, had placed a comment on a request I submitted. A single line of text, never intended to be seen by other eyes. That's me, bitch! Knowing that she'd become Corpse Girl made my jealousy grow. I wanted to take her place. I wanted people to fear me, just like they feared her. I wanted any other life, anything that would let me escape any of my own hellish half-existence. Thanks to trawling through her website, Junpei soon figured out the whole thing was essentially a hoax. Corpse Girl had no ability to cause death. Noriko was simply trying to con people into ending their own lives. It was pathetic. It made me laugh. I decided I'd play along with Noriko's delusions in order to ensure her downfall. So I was kind of right in that Noriko's, that Aoi's a shitter, right? I kind of got that. But fucking everybody in this game's a goddamn asshole. It's finally time. I get to meet Junpei at the station and walk him home. Yay! The Noise Corporation office is within walking distance from Shinjuku train station. Getting there is a breeze. Junpei works on the 30th floor of a massive office complex. He's one of the top dogs. He's worked really hard to get where he is. I'm proud of him. It's kind of funny to think that I almost got a job near here. The Timogene building is so close to Junpei's office. Noriko and Shinya hooked me up, but I completely bailed on them. Oh well, at the time I had no idea the love of my life worked nearby. I think I'm right on time, so Junpei should be here any second. Everyone sucks except for Tomoe. As I wait patiently, a familiar-looking girl climbs the stairs and wanders past me. Her outfit is kind of unprofessional. I wonder if she's an office employee. She looks a bit like a troublemaker. Where have I seen her before? She caught me staring at her. Oh no, she's walking toward me!
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Nope, never seen you. No time to run away, she's right in front of me!
Yeah, you're Noriko's friend, right? Aoi?
Noriko's friend? Everything's always about fucking Noriko.
Yes,
No, she's not wearing a choker.
and you are...
The brash girl swoops her hair out of her face and leers at me.
Tomoe, a friend of hers as well.
Oh,
I suddenly remember where I've seen Tomoe before. I think she was in some of Shinya's photos. Is she the girl that Shinya was dating and broke up with?
how is Noriko?
Dunno. Was hoping you could tell me. Haven't seen that skank in weeks.
I see. I haven't seen her either.
Righto. Well, I'll see you around.
Just like that, the girl brushes past me and doesn't even look back. I watch her as she wanders along the platform.
Babe!
Junpei.
What up, doll? Hey, that chick you were just talking to? She works at Temuchin. I see her walking around here all the time. She's the one I told you about.
Wait, that's her?
Yup. She used to help that Kochiro asshole deliver putties for Corpse Girl. I've been waiting for ages to introduce you to. Oh!
I nod at Junpei and immediately break into a run.
Get her, babe.
What? Junpei's cheers fade as I leave him behind. Tomoe, she's the one helping Noriko, helping Corpse Girl. We've been waiting for a chance to follow her. Oh no! Oh no! No! Stop! Game, stop! No! Junpei has been keeping an eye on her, but her actions and movements are erratic and hard to predict. But today, I fortunately have an opportunity to follow her. She's connected to so many people. Noriko, Kojiro, Shinya, they're all involved with Corpse Girl's operation. We want to track all of them down one by one and cremate them like cadavers. Jesus fucking Christ. Of course, I'm saving Noriko for last. I'll slice her open and bathe in her blood and be born again from her corpse. I'll assume her identity and live her life and leave my own painful existence behind. I race along as fast as my legs will take me. My feet pound against the train platform, and several people passing by stop to watch me out of curiosity. As long as Tomoe doesn't notice I'm tailing her, then I don't care who sees me. I follow her all the way to the end of the platform, then I blend into the crowd as we board the same train. Oh man, this music is never indicative of anything good. Oh boy, I knock on the door and I can only assume it's Tomoe's apartment. She answers just after a moment and shoots me a quizzical look. As soon as the door is all the way open, I dash forward and slam into Tomoe with the full force of my tiny body.
Fuck!
Oh jeez, man! We tumble into the apartment, though Tomoe doesn't even lose her balance. She's a lot bulkier than I am. She absorbs most of the impact and manages to remain standing. She grits her teeth and plants her hands on my shoulders, only to push me back with a mighty shove.
What the fuck are you playing at? He just tackled me.
I swing a fist at her face. She catches me off guard and sidesteps my punch and brings her knee up into my gut. I reel back, but the injury doesn't bother me.
Take that, you dumb skank. I'll teach you to attack me. I don't care if you're Noriko's friend. I'll put you in the fucking ground.
Her long fake nails rake across my face as blood pours from my torn skin. But I stand firm and stare her down.
You're allied with Corpse Girl, right?
Is that what this is about? I don't give a shit about all that anymore. It's all behind me.
You know Corpse Girl's identity?
Of course I do. Why? Are you curious? Got someone you want to have killed?
No. I know that it's Noriko.
You're damn right. I should have guessed that a friend of hers would be just as psychotic. Noriko can go fuck herself for all I care. I'm done with her shit.
So am I. I'm going to kill her.
Tomoe raises an eyebrow.
That so?
Oh jeez, do we have an alliance? Are we going alliance?
Well, she kinda has it coming.
I see.
Corpse Girl is done and dusted. Doubt the public even remembers her these days. It's all about the human removal service. Noriko's just Noriko now. But I still won't forgive her for what she did to Kojiro.
What is she talking about? Does she know something I don't?
What happened to Kojiro?
Do you even know who he is?
I do.
He warned me about her, you know? He said she'd discard us as soon as we weren't useful anymore. Sure enough, she had him killed. Fucking burned him alive.
Oh jeez. This just works out for Aoi really well, doesn't it? Interesting. Tomoe thinks Noriko killed Kojiro when in reality, Junpei took care of that freak. He burned the entire morgue down around him. I suppose Kojiro's death caused Noriko and Tomoe's relationship to fall apart. Everything worked out better than Junpei planned.
Noriko will die. And so will you for your role in helping her.
Oh, come on. Why are you so insistent on messing with me? I ain't never done nothing to you. Hang on.
Even though this girl exudes an air of stupidity, I didn't expect her to actually be this dense. Surely she's figured it out by now.
You with the human removal service?
I don't say anything.
You're kidding me. You're the one Noriko has been fighting against this whole time. And you're her best friend.
Your point?
Are you the leader of your little group?
No.
Not the leader!
Right.
When Tomoe pauses to brush her hair behind her ear, I strike. My hand darts forward and grips her throat, and I begin to crush it between my fingers. The girl kicks and flails. She beats her fists against my outstretched arm, but I don't flinch. Her gurgling and thrashing brings me no joy. I wish people would simply accept their fate. Despite how tightly I'm squeezing her throat, she manages to form the beginning of a word. I can only guess that she's trying to call for Shinya. Shinya, the idiot boy she already broke up with. He can't save her now. I tighten my grip and stride forward, pushing Tomoe back and pinning her against the wall. She kicks at me and hits me directly in the knee. I refuse to buckle. Her fingers continuously claw at my arm, slashing into my flesh and sending flecks of blood across the room. She thinks she can hurt me, thinks she can fight her way out of her fate, but nothing she does will ever injure me. You can't hurt the dead. The thought repeats in my mind as my face crashes into the floor. A ringing sound in my ears causes me to question what just happened. The residual shockwaves of a dull impact on my skull flow through my head. I wouldn't call it pain, or even an ache, just a sensation that something collided with me. But I'm already on the floor, my lips pressed against the hard wood, my eyes twitching and examining shards of pottery falling on the floor around me. A blanket of darkness descends over me and I hear a ragged sound of Tomoe breathing and someone's voice asking, "Are you okay?" But the question isn't directed at me. I don't think anyone cares that I'm laying here in my own blood. What the fuck? Oh, jeez, what is happening in this game, dude? I can't count how many movies I've seen where characters claim they've had an out-of-body experience. I've heard the stories in real life, too. People on the brink of death and unconsciousness tell tales of how they would view their own body from a lofty spiritual perch. I never put much stock into such nonsense. How can someone dead or dying view the world with any form of clarity? When I died all those years ago, I didn't experience any such thing. It was kind of disappointing, even though I didn't expect much. Being clubbed across the head in Tomoe's apartment was a completely different experience than the time glass shards pierced my neck. I feel like I've been teetering on the edge of consciousness, writhing around the hard floor. I can see light, some blurred shapes, and I can see my body down below. My body, delicate and frail and slowly decaying. I don't get it. Why would I have an out-of-body experience now of all times? I sure as hell didn't experience anything of the sort when my father slit my neck. So why now? I wonder if any of my victims ever suffered from hallucinations like this before dying. Did Kotomi Ida and all those people on the train platform experience this after my— what the fuck? Did they also helplessly look down on their own bodies from above as the train screeched past? That's a real good twist! Emi Katsuno, boy did she scream when I pushed her over the balcony railing. Did her spirit leave her body to look down over her splattered corpse? What about the other nameless souls I've claimed from Noriko's website? There were so many bodies I piled up, countless gifts pledged in Corpse Girl's name. I didn't kill them because I wanted to shed blood. I did it to delude Noriko. That was the goal at the start anyway. Noriko never caught on to what I was doing. She took all the credit, thinking that she was some sort of all-powerful being in control of the fate of her victims. Oh, shut up, nerd! Shut up! Just shut up! Holy fucking shit, dude! She never even tried to understand the truth. I slaved away for her, cutting and strangling and slashing and slicing. I piled up bodies for Noriko, but Corpse Girl claimed all the kills. It was a pointless endeavor. I think she would have spiraled into madness even without the power trip. I suppose it doesn't matter now. Things have changed. My only focus now is to kill Noriko. I should have done so right at the start. I'll kill her for wasting my time. As I look down at my body below, I see a girl too scared to go on, too scared to struggle anymore. It's a shame. If I wasn't killed years ago, I might have had the chance to live a normal life. Well now, well, there's nothing else for it. I feel my spirit returning to my body. It's a strange sensation because I know I'm not returning to life. How could I? I've been dead for too long. My only chance is to claim Noriko's life for my own. I'll become her and discard this rotting, walking corpse. Yeah, she almost had it. I can hardly see without my glasses. Everything is blurry, foggy, lacking a solid outline. Colors bleed into other colors. Blue blends into purple and yellow melds into brown. It doesn't help that I'm partially colorblind. Never had much luck telling red and green apart anyway. Wow, that's an interesting thing to, that's interesting. That's really interesting. That's very interesting. Without my glasses, I'm practically blind, helpless.
You're finally awake. Fucking skank.
She spits at me, and her filthy saliva drips down the side of my face. It's warm. I try to lash out at her, only to find my arms have been bound to my side. I try to scream out, but my mouth is gagged with what I can only assume is a sock. I try to lunge forward, but I'm strapped tightly to the wooden chair I'm sitting in.
I can't believe this.
Oh, jeez.
This is so strange. I just...
Yep.
Shut up, Shinya. Jeez.
Sorry.
The blurred forms of Tomoe and Shinya are pacing the room. Even without my full vision, I can tell the room is bright. Sunlight is pouring in from the open window. Just how much time has passed since I was knocked unconscious? And why have they tied me up here? I scream into the mouth gag, somehow loud enough to capture their attention. Tomoe strides toward me and pulls the damp sock from my mouth.
What? What do you want?
I mumble something about being unable to see. Tomoe swears, stumbles around for a bit, then forcefully pushes my glasses onto my face.
What are you going to do to me?
I don't know. That's up to this genius.
Her arm gestured towards Shinya, pointed finger loaded with accusation.
Me? Look, I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
What did you do, my man?
I just saw you were in trouble, so...
Why are you here anyway? We're done. Over.
Okay. He just happened to be here and smacked Aoi over the head from the sounds of this then. Yeah, the train lady is an interesting one.
I wanted to see you.
I'm not in the mood for their lovers' quarrel.
Let me go. Or bury me. Either way, don't keep me here.
You nearly killed me, bitch! It's taken all my strength not to murder you right here!
Go ahead. Try it. You can't kill the dead.
You're a freak.
Let me call my father. I'm sure he can take her in for questioning. He can find out her motives for attacking you.
That is true. She did stalk Emmy. She was very, like, she let that, like, I don't even know that she let it slip. It seems like she said that on purpose.
I already know why she attacked me. She's trying to take down everyone associated with
Tomoe cuts herself off.
Never mind that.
I wonder, is Shinya not privy to Tomoe's relationship with Corpse Girl? Intriguing. As Tomoe's former boyfriend, I simply assumed that he was a part of the operation. I thought he was an accomplice. If he doesn't know anything, then I don't need to kill him. One less person to deal with before I go after Noriko. However, I need to focus on getting out of here first.
If you let me go, I'll never bother you again.
Oh, we definitely believe that. A lie.
Why should I believe you? You followed me to my freaking home.
I'm sorry.
Lie.
Then I'll exchange information for my release. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Lie, lie,
I
lie.
care. I'm done with all the shit between Noriko and you.
Noriko? Has she got something to do with this?
Shut up, Shinya.
Shinya. Perhaps he's my ticket out of here. I turn my head to him and wait until he looks directly at me.
Shinya, I'm so thirsty. Can I have some water?
Oh no, she's preying on the weak link! She's preying on the weak link! He pauses, but since Tomoe doesn't interfere, he ducks out of sight. He returns within seconds, holding a half-filled cup, handing a half-filled cup to me. I bob forward as best I can against my restraints, and I take a sip of the lukewarm tap water.
Thank you.
It's worth noting how easy he is to manipulate. He's the complete opposite of my Junpei, who is strong and independent. He doesn't let anyone mess with him.
So, about my offer, will you let me go if I share information about the human removal service?
Shinya's face turns pale.
Human removal service? That's...
I really couldn't care less about all of that. I told you, I'm done with everything.
I see.
Tomoe. She might have information that can assist with my investigation. We have to accept her offer.
Oh, please. You're no cop as much as you fancy pretending to be one.
I already told you that Father accepted me as part of the investigation team.
You're a hack, a wannabe.
Why can't you just be happy for me?
Shut up. Shut up, shut up!
Tomoe storms off, the sheer force of her anger causing the walls to tremble. Shinya and I are alone in the room. This is the worst possible outcome. I don't waste another second.
Shinya, I don't know everything that's going on, but it sounds like you're trying to solve the murder cases, right?
That's right. I'm really helping the investigation team, you know?
That's good. Very good. Please, I have information that might help you. Will you let me go if I share it with you?
His nervous eyes dart around, searching for any sign of Tomoe's presence. And then he looks at me dead in the eyes and says the very last thing I ever expected to hear.
I'll let you go if you help me kill Noriko first.
What the fuck? What? What the fuck? What is Oh my god! I mean, good lord, dude. Noriko has not done a good job of picking her friends at all. Oh my sweet merciful Christ. We did
Is
it!
your apartment?
Wait, oh, wow.
Yes.
Please forgive me for intruding.
Shinya bows politely and removes his shoes. He places them carefully in front of the doorstep and takes a stride forward. He takes a good look around before turning to me.
You have a nice place.
Oh, please. I wish he would cut the formalities. We're here to discuss serious business. He's acting like we're new co-workers or something. I walk over to the door and make sure it's fully locked. I slide the deadbolt in place.
The door is locked.
I whisper this under my breath so Shinya can't hear me.
The door is locked.
Repeating phrases like this has become a sort of mantra. It helps me concentrate. When I'm about 90% sure the door is actually locked, I wander back to Shinya. It takes all of my willpower to refrain from turning back and checking once more. Thankfully, Shinya distracts me from the inner turmoil.
Is everything you told me true? I want to make sure I have all the facts straight.
Yes, it's true. All of it.
Truth intermingled with lies is still the truth, right? I lucked out when Tomoe left the two of us alone in her apartment. But if I'd explained things to her, I would have had to give her inside information on the Human Removal Service's operations. Anything less could have clashed with her existing knowledge and caused her to doubt me. But since I only had to explain things to Shinya, I had already determined that Shinya wasn't in the loop, so I concocted a convincing lie in order to secure his cooperation, and he bought it.
Want to get my head around it. Noriko Kurosawa is Corpse Girl. She's the one that was behind the initial string of murders across the city. She delivered photos and corpses to her victims in order to convince them that they would die soon. And that had the effect of causing people to kill themselves. Almost a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Of course, all of this part is true. Kind of. Shinya doesn't need to know that I acted behind the scenes and brought the victims low by my own hand. These acts of violence almost seem like a distant memory now. I'm so committed to aiding Noriko that I couldn't think of anything else. In the end, my assistant didn't help my own situation. I only propelled Noriko's ego into the stars and continued to suffer my cursed half-existence.
It wasn't long before another group started killing people in much the same way as Noriko did. A group called the Human Removal Service. They've killed hundreds, if not thousands of people in the past months.
Again, all true so far.
You were enslaved by Noriko? Forced against your will to infiltrate the Human Removal Service and bring them down from the inside?
That's right.
He's a fucking idiot.
That explains why you want to kill Noriko. You want to be free from her, even if it isn't exactly the legal thing to do.
Legal? What kind of pedestal is this guy standing on? He specifically requested assistance to do the exact same thing. He wants Noriko dead, just like I do.
If I remember correctly, you only managed to learn one important thing about the Human Removal Service, right?
Yes.
The group is made up of dozens of members. Dozens of people that all masquerade as the leader known as the Herald. There's no single person responsible for the murders. It's the joint effort of a large group, all striking across the city simultaneously. Am I correct?
And there's the real kicker. He's absolutely spot on. I didn't mind sharing this tidbit of information with him. It does nothing to assist in his investigation. And wrapping the lie that I was Noriko's lackey in a blanket of truth makes everything all the more convincing.
Yes.
All right, Cap, what's our legal standing here as a law student? How are we looking?
Phew, okay. I think I understand everything. Thank you for your help.
There's one thing I'm not entirely comfortable about. Shinya hasn't been forthcoming with his reasons for wanting Noriko dead. If I don't air the question, I feel like he will never address it.
Can you tell me why you want to kill Noriko?
If I was a defense lawyer on this case, I would cry! It looks like the connection's going through a little bit of a rough time here. We're getting a little wavy here with the connection quality, so apologies if any frames drop or the connection drops. If the connection drops, I will be back, so stick around, but it looks like we're kind of getting a little shaky connection-wise. I suggest you just plead guilty and get it over with. He tries to back away from the question by twiddling his thumbs and pretending to examine the nearby wall.
Shinya, I need to know. Otherwise, how can I trust you?
Trust. It's a word that has always made me laugh. How can I trust anybody? I couldn't even trust my own parents, the people who swore to raise and protect me. My mother hit me when I misbehaved or when I overslept 5 minutes or raised my voice ever so slightly. I was a child. How could I even trust her to not lash out at me? My father, how could I ever trust him after he killed me? And Noriko, the one friend I opened up to, the one person who knew all about my struggles, she betrayed me. She kept her perfect life out of reach, taunted me with it, dangled it in front of me like a carrot on a string. And when I asked to share her life with her, she completely misinterpreted it. She told me she loved me, told me she wanted to be with me. She wanted to shower me with gifts, hold my hand, be intimate with me. She wanted to be my girlfriend, but how could I ever be intimate with her after what I went through? She didn't understand me. She didn't understand what I wanted to be with her, not be with her. She wouldn't trade lives with me, so how could I ever trust her? How could I ever trust her when she said she loved me, but wasn't willing to make a sacrifice to make me happy? Everyone is full of shit, and I'll never trust anybody again. Junpei spends every day trying to prove his love to me. He assists me with my compulsive behavior. He helps me do my shopping, helps me keep my apartment neat and tidy. Do I trust him? No. I know what he wants from me. He's no better than Noriko. He's willing to jump through hoops for me in the hope that he'll eventually conquer my flesh. Even though he tries to help me out with my compulsions, I don't have full faith in him. He takes it upon himself to complete my checklist of rituals in order to spare me the stress. But more often than not, I still have to go ahead and double check everything just to make sure he didn't fuck anything up. If I can't even trust him with that, then I know I'll never be able to trust another soul with anything. Looking at Shinya now, pacing nervously around my apartment, I decide not to put my stock into what he says next. There's no way in hell that I'll believe whatever comes out of his mouth.
Noriko is my friend, but my father, Chief Detective Fujikawa, in case you didn't know, has declared her the prime suspect of our investigation. Thing is, Father isn't the most lenient person, and he's been cracking under stress lately. If he finds Noriko, if he arrests her, there will be no trial. She'll simply get life behind bars. Guaranteed.
I mean, sorry, but I mean, you know, looks like connection has stabled out a little bit too, by the way. So if you're having any connection issues, if you like refresh, it might have a, you know, it might catch you back up, might stop the connection or the player if it's acting weird or anything. Shinya hangs his head, and I hear a quiet sob.
Our country's idea of justice? She doesn't deserve anything less than death for her crimes. Letting her live safely behind bars isn't a punishment. It's an act of mercy.
Yeah, like, getting prosecuted in Japan is real bad because 99% of the time it's a success.
I want to ensure Noriko receives true justice, fitting judgment for the lives she destroyed.
What he's saying just doesn't add up. How does he know she won't receive the death penalty? It's true that it's not a common punishment, but it's still legal in this country, especially so for cases of mass murder. Does Shinya have information that I don't?
I need to find her. I need to hand her the justice that my father is too cowardly to deliver.
Whatever. I'm already sick of this guy. He acts like he's been personally wronged by Noriko's crimes, like he's so high and mighty and knows what's best. I doubt he knows a single person that Noriko killed.
Fine. To be honest, I don't really care about your reasons. As long as you want Noriko dead, then our goals are the same. But I have to ask, will you turn yourself into the police after you kill her?
Once again, Shinya hangs his head.
I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't.
He leaves his sentence hanging in midair. It wasn't exactly a confirmation.
There's only one problem. I have no idea where Noriko's hiding. She doesn't live in her apartment anymore. She doesn't show up to her office. I know that she has a factory that she runs her operation from, but I can't find it.
I see. I might be able to help. Tomoe and Noriko used to spend a lot of time together. I'm not sure what they used to get up to, but I checked the travel history on Tomoe's IC card, and she made a lot of trips to Shinokubo.
Her IC card? For people traveling by train every day, buying single-use tickets is often a pain in the ass. Reusable IC cards are much more convenient. You can top them up with money and simply swipe them at the ticket gates to have your train fare automatically deducted. Best of all, they keep a record of your transactions history and the stations you've traveled to recently. The fact that Shinya even thought to look at Tomoe's travel history makes me want to reconsider my initial assessment of this guy's detective skills.
In Okubo, you say?
Yeah, Can't imagine what she was doing there, but all the dates she traveled to that station coincide with days she claimed to be hanging out with Noriko.
I still don't think Shinya realizes that Tomoe was in on Noriko's operation. Regardless, this is valuable information. Chances are good that Noriko and Tomoe spent a lot of time together in their factory, and that factory may very well be located in Shinokubo. I feel like this information, I feed this information to Junpei and see what he makes of it. Perhaps he knows something I don't.
Thanks for the info. That's enough for today. I'll contact you when I locate Noriko.
Oh, say, just one more thing.
What is it?
If you've been wanting to kill her, then why haven't you just called her and asked her to meet up with you?
I mean, that's kinda, you know? He thinks he's so clever. He thinks he has everything all worked out. He doesn't know shit.
It's not that easy. I need to find where she's living and running her operation from. I want to destroy everything involved with Corpse Girl. I want to burn her factory to the ground.
Yeah, I don't trust anybody at this point. Everybody is a shithead. Just a well and true blue shithead. Good lord. More lies. Lies on top of lies. The truth of the matter is that Noriko knows perfectly well my intentions for her. Even if she temporarily forgets it during the moments of delirium, she would never agree to meet up with me. Not now. Things are different. Things were different not long ago, but I missed that opportunity. Noriko worked out my position at the Human Removal Service. She figured out that I'm the Herald, the one responsible for slicing and dicing. She doesn't know that there's more than one Herald, but that's irrelevant. And she doesn't know that I'm responsible for the mass bodies littered across Tokyo thanks to Corpse Girl's website. However, as long as she knows I'm a threat, she'll never agree to meet with me. How she came to the conclusion that I'm the enemy is beyond me. She's a sharp person, despite teetering on the edge of a total breakdown. It doesn't matter. The point is, I can't simply call and meet up with her. Besides, I actually do want to locate the factory just as much as I want to locate her. The factory is where I'll plant myself. It's where I'll start my life anew. It's where I'll grow and blossom into the new Corpse Girl once I've taken over Noriko's identity. Shinya is contemplating my answer. It seems good enough for
Fair
him.
enough. You want to see Corpse Girl completely and utterly defeated. I get that. That's your idea of justice.
Sure.
Agreeing with him will make the ordeal of conversation end quicker.
I'm going to get some rest. So...
Okay. I understand. I'll take my leave. Call me when you locate Noriko, okay?
yes.
Lie.
Farewell then.
He makes his way out the door and I don't take my eyes off him until he disappears through the portal. When he's gone, I tiptoe toward the door and confirm it's fully closed. I make sure the door is snugly nestled in the wooden frame. I lock the door handle and slide the deadbolt in
The
place.
door is locked.
But is it?
The door is locked.
I can't be certain. To my eyes, the eyes that fail me on a daily basis, that betray my mind with illusions and phantoms, the door seems to be locked. But why should I trust my eyes? I don't trust anyone. Why should I trust parts of myself? I don't even see colors clearly. Red, green, whatever. I can't see anything without the aid of glasses. The door is to be locked. The door has to be locked. It has to be. Otherwise, I won't be able to walk away. I won't be able to stop thinking about it until I come back and check again and again and again and again and
The
again.
door is locked.
I turn away, take a deep breath, and then immediately turn back.
The door is locked. The door is locked.
I'm pretty sure the deadbolt is in place. It certainly looks in place. I'm so exhausted. I'm tired of the routines and rituals. Why can't I just walk away? If I walked away, the problem wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be stuck standing here, checking and double checking something so trivial. If I could walk away, I wouldn't be so full of stress, so worked up about things that ultimately don't matter. Another deep breath, and I take a step back.
The door is locked.
I turn, run, dash. I sprint through the room, sprint through the hallway. I slam my body into my bedroom door, throwing it open wide. I collapse onto my bed. I ignore the nagging in my brain telling me that the door is unlocked. I ignore it until it feels too real and I have to scratch at my flesh just to distract myself. I pull my pillow over my head and I hold it tightly around my face. I'm safe here, safe in my bed. The door is locked. Locked. I try to convince myself to fall asleep, tell myself I'll feel better after I rest. I hope I lock the front door. All right, do you folks want to call it there, or do you want to keep going?
I'll have some work for you soon.
I'll let you decide. If you want to go, if you want to do more, we will do more. If you want to call it, we'll call it, and then we'll be back again tomorrow evening. We can call it. Yeah, I'm starting to feel that way. I think that's a good place to kind of. Okay, I got 2 votes for calling it, so I'm sorry, Darian. I'm sorry, but we will be back. We will be back tomorrow evening. Okay, a question. For the people that will be here. How do you feel about starting at 7? How do you feel about starting at an hour earlier? Is that good? Does that work for people? Because obviously, like, I want to, the people that are invested, I want them to continue to be able to be invested and be here. And I'm willing to start an hour earlier if that lets us go, like, another... I'm Eastern Daylight. So right now, it is currently 22:20 where I'm at. Okay, Cappy thinks that 7 p.m. can work. Don't think he can be here tomorrow, sadly. Cool. So, yeah, like, we will try to go to about the same time tomorrow night then, and we'll start an hour earlier. We'll start at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight, so keep an eye on the old Twitter, and you can find when I'm going live there. If you want to keep up when I'm going live, you can check my Twitter. It cycles down there, and it's right below my beautiful shining face. Let's save. I have not saved for a good long while, have I? Oopsie daisy. All right. There we go. Okay. So, tomorrow at 7 p.m. is when we're going to look at getting things started then. I'm going to see who's streaming and to see where we're going to throw all of this love that we have here tonight. Who's streaming? Where are we throwing it? What are we doing? Doesn't look like a lot's going on tonight. So I guess I'm gonna throw it on back over to Power Up with Pride, who are, again, they are doing a full event this weekend to support the Trevor Project, which is a fantastic organization that helps prevent suicide in LGBT youth. Perfect storm of having an open schedule and being almost up to this part of the game. Yeah, I apologize that, like, you won't be able to be here when we start, but, maybe showing up an hour late won't be so bad if you're able to. So sorry about that, but yeah. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight. Watch for the Twitter if you don't know what that time zone is. And I'll announce it again at noon tomorrow on Twitter. So, we will catch you folks tomorrow. Thanks again for coming out. You're all absolutely lovely, and I will talk to you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight. Bye-bye!